Good morning. Well, that was a battle. I spent literally the last 10 minutes trying to get the live stream to start and finally just rebooted the computer, but looks like everything is okay now. All right. Anyway, here we are. Post a little something in the chat here. Hey, Joe, good morning. There we go. So, yeah, this is the March 15th. Hey, Manny, konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? Let's see, what time is it now? It's got to be, what, 7:22, 8:22 in Japan? Must be nice, man. I would ask the silly question of, how's it going? But I'm guessing it's probably going really well. We should make you a test page for TV for technical difficulties. Probably not a bad idea. The only problem with that, Joe, and the only problem is I'd have to put effort into it. Let's see if I can read this. Gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. My hiragana is very, very not as good. 7:22. Okay, only 13 hours in advance. Nice. So how's it going, Manny? I'm sure you're having a fun time. I saw the Ohayou gozaimasu. I'm assuming that's Oji-san. And probably Oji. No, actually, is it Oji-san or Oji-san? Yeah. I'm going to have to brush up on my, like I said, on my hiragana at some point. Anyway, good morning, Peter, or good day. And I think Kevin's here. Kevin, good morning. How are you? Let's get some glasses on. Manny, what part of Japan are you in? Super good. Morning, everyone. Congratulations. Gozaimasu, minasan. Oh, it's minasan. Okay, everyone. My apologies again. My kanji is even worse than my hiragana. It's awesome. And I are heading to the in Shibuya. Oh, nice. Oh, man. Wow. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm sure that you guys are having a fabulous time there. Fabulous. So what have you, let's see. So this has got to be the end of Sunday for you. You guys took off. When did you get into Japan? Ken, good morning. How are you? Mike, good morning. Another road trip to Mass today. Is this to work on your daughter's car, Mike? Or are you doing something else? Hopefully something a little more enjoyable. Living in or visiting Japan? Manny is visiting Japan. Yeah. Shibuya, huh? That might be a consideration. Yeah, when the time comes to, God willing and finances willing and all that happens, put an itinerary together for myself. I'm still hoping 2029. Most definitely. We went to Diver City. We arrived on Saturday. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. So you guys are probably just, I'm sure the time change is kind of like whacked your circadian rhythm too, right? But man, you went to Diver City already. Sweet. I do have a question about how one gets along in Japan, not fully versed in the Japanese language. My nephew's wedding. Oh, that's right. Excited for a family gathering and a happy setting. Nice. That's right. The wedding. Nice. Hopefully all goes swimmingly with the wedding, Mike. That's awesome, man. Been 1 year. Happy anniversary. Yeah. It's hard to believe. It's I jumped onto YouTube a year ago, and it's hard to believe that it's been 6 years. I thought about that. It's like, so I started this probably March of 2020. After putting an end to the Monday evening thing, what's it, like fall of 2019? And then when COVID kind of hit, it's like I need to stay in contact with people, and that's how the live stream came about. I've been going since. Oh, we slept for 10 hours on Saturday. Most establishments speak English better than my Japanese. Wow. The lingua franca, the benefit of having a common language across the world. My survival in Japan would depend a lot on pointing and pantomime. Yeah, a year. Hey, Nick, good morning. How are you? It's been a year. Hard to believe, huh? Hard to believe it's been a year on YouTube. Google Maps for navigating, but all road and train signs are in both English and Japanese. All train announcements are really train announcements are also in English. That I did not know that. That's interesting. This car should be done early this week. New engine is installed. Just need to tidy everything up. And Mike, did you install an auto oil filler in the car? Correct. Wow. I gotta tell you, as an American and an English speaker, I don't think we sometimes view the benefit of what we have. I think there's an expectation that of course people are going to speak English, and I look at it more from I feel very fortunate that many countries have decided to take it upon themselves to do a lingua franca, to have a common language, and that happens to be English. In order to allow for a greater number of visitors to be able to partake in their country. That is a benefit. That's not an American expectation. That is a benefit that Americans and other English speakers are participating in. And for that, I thank all the countries that do that, rather than, like I said, taking the approach of, well, of course they should. Fuck off. And they also tell you where to exit the train on either the left or the right. Nice. Manny, are you going to bring that back home and try to teach your people that? That would be genius. That would be genius, wouldn't it? Barry, Mass. Just up the road from here. Just up the road. Anyway, that's a great. I'm I'm happy to hear that regarding the regarding English. Now, I don't think that should make it easier. I think people should try to at least learn part of a language. Like you're going to go visit, you should know at least a little bit of the local language, right? Be able to at least converse in some fashion. What the hell's that about? There we go. I'll dust that off in a second. Oh, correction. We are going to Shinjuku. Oh, you're going to Shinjuku? Nice. Exactly where? No clue. Some kind of. Yeah. MTA is more like you have eyes, don't you? Look at the station and get off on that side. Yeah. Interesting. God. I'm trying to think of, it's been a long time since I've been on the MBTA, the Boston Transit system. I can't recall if they actually tell you which side to exit on or not. I don't recall now. Good evening, Edwin. How are you, my friend? It means this when pointing. Ikura desu ka? How much is this? Ikura desu ka? Okay. Sumimasen is excuse me. Yep, that one I know. Onegai is please. Okay, I did not know that. Onegai is please when requesting. Kore wa doko desu ka? Where is this when pointing? And it's all, and I'm assuming one should always use the polite, correct? You now have survival Japanese. Awesome. Got me thinking now, just looking around for the invitation. I sure hope Kim knows where we are going. Whew. Back from local hobby shop. They have a demo play for the Gundam tabletop game. It was fun, and 3-on-3 lasts for 1 hour. By tabletop game, this is the card game. Is that correct? Because aren't they also introducing sort of like a role playing game as well? I know sign language. Nice. Yeah. Thank you, Peter. By the way, the board game, really? I didn't. Is that out, Edwin? I didn't realize it was out. That I might have to. I'm kind of curious if that's made it over here to the States. Huh. Huh. Right, give me a second here, guys. Just a little bit of cleanup here. All right, there we go. Set that down. But the radio antenna. There we go. Let's see. Okay, the board game, that tabletop figure game is releasing now. Is it really? Mike, have you guys gotten it yet? Exactly. I got a cheat sheet from Tex. Oh, nice. It was mostly what you just read, adding beer to it. Nice. It will be out in October. I am playing the proxy version of the game. They got some photos from a convention. Oh, proxy. Ooh, interesting. Watched The Player yesterday. Great movie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Ken. Thank you for letting me know. Only took 30 years. Yeah. Just a fabulous way. I mean, Altman had a very unique directing style, which I've always enjoyed. And that film was just loaded with sarcasm. It reminded me very much of Nashville, but I found it to be more approachable. The next phase is in pre-order for us now. We have a few interested. Mike, if when do you expect it's going to be released to you guys? It looks like Edwin said October. Will it be sooner than October? Meaning, will you have it by PatCon? Maybe add Ego no menu items, which is there an English menu? Excellent. Thank you, Peter. Peter's just like great. Actually, I might have to when I head over, maybe it's like, hey, Peter, you want to join me down here and be my translator? I'm assuming, Peter, your Japanese is fluent. First coat is applied to the Make bubblegum crisis. Now decals in second coat, then damage. Nice, Joe. Everything was always wanted to circle back and watch it. Yeah, only took 30 years. Sorry, add Ka to the end. Right, Ka makes it a question. Correct. Fun watching all the cameos of people back then. Oh, yeah, absolutely. In particular, the ones where I think it's like, all right, pretend like you hate him and just kind of go off on him. Wasn't it Malcolm McDowell who has a cameo that basically tears Griffin apart? I'm sure of exactly dates. Again, Kim's department. Good thing I have Kim. Good thing you have Kim. That's right. I can get by, but fluent is dependent on the company you're in. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. The one thing I do know from my years of studying Japanese, and I'm going back to my college days, so now we're talking about almost 40 years ago, was it is a language, like most languages, it is a language of nuance, with a sentence structure that is not Western centric. And I'm not faulting it for it. I think it's like, for me, it is a hard language to pick up because of how it is grammatically structured. But it is certainly a beautiful language to listen to. Obviously, watch a lot of movies in Japan or a lot of anime, and I only try to listen to it in Japanese. It's amazing what I pick up and the stuff that I just really struggle with. Arimaska or arimaska? It's kind of the same thing. Arimasu ka, arimaska. Hey, Richie, good morning. How are you? Let's go in other places. Yeah, exactly. It's the sentence structure that makes it a very interesting thing. It's like for example, like what, ego no menu. Yeah, ego no menu, right? English menu. That to me, for some reason, that no, making it a possessive, always wigs me out. I don't know why. Have a great Sunday, everyone. Time. Okay, Mike, safe travels, man, and have fun at the wedding. And I'm sure everything is going to go fabulously once you know where you're going. Start late today. I started late today. The computer, YouTube would not load. It was like sitting there saying going live, and just waiting. Tried it twice. Finally had to reboot the computer. So yeah, I started late, Robert. Sorry. Just woke up. Nice, Richie. Hopefully you had a good bit of rest. I'm exhausted this morning. I went to bed fairly late last night waiting up for the girls. But anyway, yeah. So this is why I don't claim fluency. All the details and nuances are all contextual and usually either only hinted at or or completely unspoken. Yeah, I remember a number of episodes of the Gundam podcast, Mobile Suit Breakdown. Nina is somewhat versed in Japanese. Both of them are, but I think she's studied Japanese in a little bit more depth, and I think also does Japanese calligraphy. So, in her explanation, in sometimes what she says, so in the Japanese they said this, and the subtitles say that, and there seems to be a juxtaposition, and she tried to describe what that juxtaposition was. And it's interesting to hear the subtleties in the language, and they're there, right? I was up since 4:50. I wish I just woke up. Nice, Robert. I'm sorry. Hope all is well. I have to command code to dump on my old laptop once. I have to command code to dump on my old laptop once a week, or it gets fat with bloatware. Really? Automatically bloatware? That's too bad. Schedule as waking with the dawn, not hours before. Ugh. Has been waking with the dawn. Waking with the dawn. Manny and his brother are in Japan for 2 weeks. Manny's been on. Manny's on right now. Yeah, he was just saying where what they landed yesterday. Got some rest, and I've been hitting up a couple places. So that right there, George, is why I kind of give the subs are more accurate than dubs argument. The old hairy eyebrow. Oh, I don't think that they're more accurate. I don't believe by any stretch of the imagination that subtitles are more accurate than dubs. I look at it as I prefer listening to the original language because of the inflections, the way that things are pronounced. For me, a Japanese original Japanese sounds more realistic than dubbing. Dubbing just sounds like I don't know. I've heard plenty of good, but just as much bad. I just don't like dubs. I just don't think that voice actors do it justice in general. So much nuance in interpretation and translation, even in text, it's not one-to-one. Oh yeah, some people. Hey, Coach, look at that. Yeah. Manny, are you guys going to hit Volks at all? I'd have to say, if in terms of model specific stuff, that's where I would like to go. Go to a shop that carries like a fuck ton of tools, and then figure out how am I going to get back all this stuff. Okay. I believe Volks is in the where in the Odaiba area. I could be wrong. It's in Diver City, I believe. I remember a couple people said that they kind of did like around the Gundam store. There was another like a Volk shop. I could be wrong. I know it's in Tokyo. I know Tokyo is large. The problem is an issue of localization. They're properly localized. Dubs will just the lines to get them to read smoothly and match the lip. Possibly. I'm less concerned about the lips matching because Japanese animation and lips matching has never been a thing for me. I mean, if you go back and watch any Japanese animation, my understanding is in American animation, the vocal tracks are laid down before the animation is created, at least around the mouths, I believe. Whereas in Japanese, it's done the opposite. That's going back through memory. I believe that's how it's done. Early dubs in the 90s are the really awkward, unnatural. Just enforced because they're using an unnatural cadence to try to match them without changing dialogue. Some people just suck at ADR. Yep. Love that scene in Bleach where the diarrhea of the mouth and the subtext filled the screen with information. All right, let's get some of this cleaned off. There we go. I'll leave that out because it's likely I'm going to use it again. That's just caring about the listeners and more initial cadence because if you're trying to match them, and you're right, typically with animation voices are recorded first and then animated. It's only ADR for anime for us because we're localized and it was already drawn. Correct. Anyway. So 1 year, no pomp and circumstance, but I figured we'd just at least let people know that we have been doing this for a year. I know that there are some people who've been on since nearly the beginning. Joe's one of those people. I think Joe might be looking at the list here, probably the guy who's been part of the AmFam the longest. Nick may not be too far behind, maybe within a year or something like that. But yeah, Joe, God, Joe must have been one of the first guys I met way back in the day. Have to navigate to talk. Talk to you tomorrow morning. Love you, Manny, too. Have fun with your brother, man. Enjoy your time, brother. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Peter. Good morning. How are you? Thanks, Manny. So happy for him. Living vicariously through others. Peter, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. It's been a while. And I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to really hang out much during last week's meeting. Eesh, got stuff to do. Our single in Japanese is kanji, but it is needed. Oh, I know. Japanese have a ton of words pronounced the same way, but with different meanings. Yeah, hiragana got the kind of describing sounds. Correct. In Romaji, hashigo no hashi de hashi. No hashi hashi tori no hashi hashi. Correct. Yeah. I was, again, listening to a recent episode of the Gundam podcast. They actually brought that up because Chinese characters have only one pronunciation. Japanese characters can have kanji can have multiple pronunciations. Because was it Musashi Miyamoto? Miyamoto is his last name, so it's Musashi. Musashi can be pronounced either Musashi or his original name was Takezo, and it's the same characters if I'm correct. The end of the ladder, at the end of the bridge, I ate with my beloved bird's beak with chopsticks. That's kind of cool. Okay, so Peter, question about that. Is that something you made up, or is that something that Japanese are? Is this like a line or a poem or some kind of colloquialism that is common in Japan? That's the guy who wrote Dokudo. Musashi Miyamoto, I don't know if he wrote it. He wrote, he's the Japanese swordsman, Musashi Miyamoto. He was the, if you've ever watched the Musashi trilogy, since all demonstrates meanings, I made this example. You made it. Oh, interesting. Miyamoto. It's spelled Raymond Luxury, but it's pronounced throat warbler mangrove. Exactly. Yes. Unfortunately, Japanese is kind of like that. Yeah, I remember when I was studying Japanese, our teacher started doing some of that. It would be like, here is a kanji character, and she would give us the pronunciation of it. And also just say, and by the way, it could also be pronounced like this. And it was mind blowing. It's like, how can it be pronounced differently? I also remember asking her, why is it that Japanese, why is it that they just don't go to like a common like hiragana or katakana, just simplify it to something like that? And, that was ignorance on my part. And I think it would obviously make it very much easier for people to learn the language. However, she said there's a history and beauty to the language, that the written language has a beauty of its own, and the writing style is just, it's part of the history. How do you change that, right? Hey, Mike, good morning. How are you? And it's like, yeah, okay, I get that. Yep. All right. Let's keep digging in here. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to get around this wing route. It's going to take some effort here. Yo, Mike, doing good, man. How's things? Things are all right. Things are okay. So see previous example sentence that you cannot understand it without kanji, as all sounds are the same. Yes, exactly. Interesting. What do we want? Low flying airplane noises. When do we want them? Meow. Nice. I'm almost finished construction on the barge. But it won't be ready for ValleyCon. It's probably going to take a couple of months to make. Oh, really? Peter, are you still going to ValleyCon? I hope the answer to that is an affirmative. Just going to get this one little area here. Just a second, my friends. Just a second. Man, it's too lumpy. I guess this stuff just got a little thick on here. Fuck me. All right. Come back to that in a second. Depends on whether I have access to the car that day. My wife might be going to Maine. Ooh. Didn't someone say DeBarge? I don't believe so. Did someone? Oh, by the way, thanks for the new oil prices, guys. I didn't want to heat my home and eat dinner. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pedro. I don't want this. Not me. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? My costs are about to go up. Give me 1 second. I have a follow-up question to Peter. Now I've got Who's Johnny in my head. Nice. Doesn't really outline the troubling nature of current events. No, it does not. Just ingest, this. Oh yeah, I do. But Peter, I do have a follow-up question to that, and that is how much percentage has gasoline gone up for you? Or heating oil. I want to ask the people's representation before signing this. Pretty sure we would have voted no. Yeah. But this is what we've come to expect from the peace president. Okay, trying to push that back in. Oh, that's better. Maybe not so much better. Fuck it. I want this thing done. So I'm not going to spend much more time. So the antenna is it's a photo etch piece, and there's a little sort of little tab nub or peg that you cut the canopy and you pop it in, and just a little bit of it is showing on this side, not on this side. So I could try to push it in, and the only thing I'll probably do is probably end up either bending the antenna or cracking the canopy. I'm not going to deal with that. Johnny. Let's see. Almost time to break my fast. I got to go for now. See you tomorrow. Edwin, have a lovely evening, my friend. And hope everything goes well. Middle Eastern natural gas refineries were halted, so EU is screwed. Spoiler alert, we're all screwed. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Peter got it right. Yeah, we're all screwed. We're buying Russian oil now while Russia target our troops. It's not Thursday. It's not Thursday. It's not Thursday. Yes, that is correct. We're in a fuck place. And like I said, look, we don't have to talk politics, but I think anybody who has any kind of sense of worldly understanding will probably look at this and just say, yeah, we're fucked. And we're only a year into this, guys, so enjoy. All right, let's get some of the cleaning done here. Up by 13% last week alone, but gasoline was already just over $2 per liter before these new increases. Shit. Okay. All right, I'm going to get this one right by the wing root. Anyway, happy moving on to, and I'm not trying to skirt the issue because obviously it's going to become more and more pressing over time. I heard some very interesting reporting this morning, but again, not going to go into it. But how's everybody doing? How was everybody's Saturday? Sounds like Joe's clicking along on his machining Krieger. Very happy to hear that. Peter has got a long way to go on his barge. It kind of begs the question. I want to see the barge. Welcome to Shitsville. Population, us. Exactly. You know, we can certainly, again, without getting into the politics side of this, I do think that the American population, and by extension, then the world, we're in this place because of decisions being made that are irrespective of the of the wants and needs of the population, you know, and the excuse of, you know, but this is what you voted for. No, it is not. That's $7.85. That's $7.85 per gallon in freedom units. Oof, that hurts. I might go to Waffle House. Undetermined. Waffle House sounds good. I'd like me a good waffle. I've only been to Waffle House once. We did it when, 2019, I think it was, when we took a trip down to Florida. We drove all the way down and we stopped at a Waffle House on the way down. That was a fun breakfast time. We did that for a dance competition many, many moons ago. Ugh, this looks like ass. But Don't care. Trying to get this model done. I do question my am I at a point now where so would I redo the Spartan? If I'm looking at stuff like this and like my lack of concern in repairing this. Is it that I'm not concerned because I really just don't care that much for the subject? Or is it that I've kind of lost a lot of the mojo of going in deep on a model? I'm hoping it's not the latter. I mean, I'm still doing my best to try to get this thing cleaned up, but looking at like the lines in here, if this were a model I really cared about, I would guess, I'm going to guess that I would probably end up doing a lot better job cleaning this thing out. But I keep telling myself it's because I just don't care. And I hope that's the case. Because I do think I'm going to be returning to, I've got a bunch of the, how many more do I have? I've got 3 more Destroids, 2 more 1/100 scale, and then going to have to size up a Destroid monster and make that thing come out, looking the way it's supposed to. Do I have the instinct still to continue to do that level of work? And I hope the answer is yes. That the perpetrators ran on a platform of not doing this. I know. Go there undetermined or unarmed. Not actually good. They're fun because we don't have them. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like when we talk about going to Buc-ee's. It's not like you're going to go to Buc-ee's and yes, there are a few things that are unique to them, but it's not like you're going to find stuff there that you can't find in a grocery store or anything like that. It's the experience of it, right? Because we don't have them up here in particular. It's a fun place to go to. Okay. There we go. Let's get some. Could be a combination too. It could be. We don't have a Zika either. What is a Zika? Hey, you still care for the details. See shingles on Doghouse or Cat 25P. I think it's more because this build has always a rushed afterthought. Could be. Current project while working, snapping new Verka. Oof. Oof. Have fun with that. I'm glad that's you, not me. Yeah, Peter, that might be kind of the correct way of looking at it, right? You buy it from me. Though actually, this is the new, this is the master grade. Yeah, I don't know. I've got the real grade, probably. Yeah, for me for Christmas 2 years ago, and with this, I figured wanted to build this first and look for ideas. Oh, okay. Virus. We don't have Zika or virus. Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess that's good, right? I guess that's good. Not a fan of the new Verka. I don't have the I like the new because I like everything from the Char's counterattack era. I think they were a lot of great designs then. just building a master grade, just in general, is not my cup of. And I did get it confused originally with the perfect grade, so I apologize. I've got the real grade, HWS, which at some point I will tackle. It's actually, I think, down here staring at me somewhere. Yep, there it is, staring at me. There we go. I don't know what I'm going to do over this canopy. I don't know that I really want to do anything with it, to be honest with you. I just don't give a shit about that. I did miss something here. Let's see if I can get it without putting down surfacer. Can't tell. I legitimately cannot tell if I got it or not. RG is solid. You should buy 2 PG News. Yeah, I have 2 PG News. It's too much. So, did you talk to your friend about like surrendering one of them and just saying, look, I'm going to get rid of this thing, or you should get rid of this thing because I'm not going to build it? There we go. All right. Let's do this without totally destroying a detail. Can't tell if I've gotten it or not, to be honest. I think I got one of them. And it's only Gundam designs in general, too streamlined and nice, not enough Apache helicopter mating with a Leopard 2 tank to make glorious new bivalves. I want more Destroids. Well, how many more Destroids can we really have? Aren't they kind of, I mean, I don't know. The only ones I know are the ones from the original series. Did they make more Destroids, or was it all a bunch of VFs? And actually, Peter, then are you at all interested in machining Krieger? Because at least that gives you like an armor feel. I'm gonna give one up. Give them both back because he really wants us both to have one. He's moving away this year. I watched Turkey Shoot 1982. Very topical. Turkey Shoot. Peter, directed by whom? I know it sounds familiar, but for the life of me, I can't place it. And I don't believe I've ever seen it. Okay. Let me bring you back a bottle of Dale Earnhardt's wine. No, pass. It was all from there. I love the Machine Krieger aesthetic, but haven't gotten into building any yet. Pick up one. I mean, in Japan, the things are freaking cheap. Cheaper, I should say. Pick up one of the 1/20th scale somethings. You know, Ammonite, or, you know, if you can find one of the Gustavs. I haven't seen a Gustav in a while. And not like I know these models like intimately, like some people do. Maschinen Krieger is, I like Maschinen Krieger. I like it because it's not like, to your point, it's not Gundam. In fact, I'm getting to the point now where I, like yourself, I'm not really enjoying a lot of Gundam designs, though I am working currently to snap together the and I know Joe worked on his, the RFV, the RX-78 from Requiem for Vengeance, which is a really good model. I mean, just not just from a from a build perspective, but just looking at the detail on it. Wow. It's like, how the hell? I mean, it was relatively inexpensive at around $20 US. It is a really, really well done model. I do recommend it. It is unfortunate that we've never really gotten more out of Requiem for Vengeance. I'm going to take a guess that in the Japanese mindset, it tanked. And we will likely not see. I know there was a GM that was there. I can't remember if we actually, I don't think we saw a Dom, but the GM looked really, really good. All that RFE kit needed is panel liner. Yeah, basically. I mean, yeah, there is some more stuff. I noticed, for example, like the venting on its head. The tips are supposed to be gray, and they're not. Again, small stuff, Joe. But to your point, yeah, you could literally hit that thing with panel liner, throw it on a desk, and it looks great. Ryan Trenchard Smith, it's Australian. Oh, turkey shoot. I'll have to look into that later. Thank you, Peter. Yeah, fuck it. Sometimes you just gotta say fuck it. Yeah, I believe that there is going to be, and I've talked about it. I think in the next couple of years, there's going to be a purging of the collection, primarily for stuff that I built that it's like, yeah, I'm never going to take this to full finish. You know, stuff I want to keep, like the Origin stuff is just too cool not to keep. But a lot of the other stuff, it's pretty trashy. I like trashy. I like trashy if it's good. I don't like trashy if it's bad. I hear Chateau Earnhardt White Zin is world class. Is it now? When I sprayed the with Tamiya Gray Violet, I either didn't get great coverage or I matched the color really well. Nice. No cutting nubs. I barely see a difference in color. Interesting. Size storage is no longer allowed in the bed section of IKEA. What? No longer allowed in the bed section of IKEA? Sorry, bouncing between a few topics here. What did I just miss? Pretty trashy. Oh, mercy. Ouch. Damn, I've been at this for a while now. Granted, we've also been doing a lot of talking, or I've been doing a lot of talking. Blithering. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Okay. Crazy. Chateau Earnhardt. Just gotta say, fuck it. Where do those lyrics come from? Is that NWA? I don't think it was. Okay. Is anybody working on a model now, or is it just me? Yeah. Right down to base plastic on that one. Yay. I'm not sure as NWA as an acronym. I'm not sure. Yeah, not gonna say it. I'm sitting in my truck. Are you solo or are you with Katie? I'm working on new and trying to fix my tweezers with a wrench. Really? Oof. Are they expensive tweezers? It might not be a bad idea to just replace at some point, right? I see a line I have to rescribe. I'm going to scribe after I get through this area here. Katie is here for now. She's flying back tomorrow. She's sleeping, and I don't want to wake her. I don't blame you. Hey, by the way, Plastic Chamber Peter, let me know if you need a ride up to ValleyCon. I'm sure we can make arrangements. If you don't have a car, if you don't have car access, I'm sure we can do something. You know, if you're up for going to the show, I'm sure we can help out with that. Whew. There's no weathering applied. Nice. Cool. Thanks. I'm pretty far from you though. What, like an hour? Peter, it's no big deal. Peter, after doing a recent trip down to Virginia, what's an hour one way? It's not a big deal. If you know what, I would rather have the pleasure of your company and do a minor inconvenience. That would be fine. So if you cannot get a ride, I will find you a ride. I will be the ride. What the fuck is up with that? Did I miss something there? I have to do a little bit more touch up here. There's a couple areas that seem like things didn't quite go to plan. There's a line there. That one I have to get. That part I think is done. Anyway. The only downside to carpooling with George is having to ride in a heavily stickered Prius. Heavily stickered? Are there stickers? I don't even know. Let you ride him, it seems. Oh, Peter. Every time we pass a Prius on the trip, yell, "Hi, George." Nice. I was thinking that will be an epic piggyback ride. Wow. You know, you guys and your dirty minds. You boys and your dirty minds. Okay. Yeah, we are going to do some touching up. Looks like I got a couple locations here. So, my friends, give me 1 second here. Yep, got touching up there. That one, fuck it, don't care. Un momento. Okay. Break time. And George is taller. That makes it more like a jetpack. Oh, Lord. It was a really rage long face for a Gundam. Large, long, autocorrect. I typed what I meant. Okay. That's what I always found about the Zeta. The Zeta I always felt had this very longish face. The new, not so much. Not as much, maybe is a better way of putting it. All right. I think that side's looking good. Except for the areas I'm going to have to add just a little bit more to. Start working on this side. We'll say at least holding this thing is not so bad. Try not to destroy the ribbing on the edges here, although I think it's pretty close to being destroyed, but whatever. There we go. I do want to get to the Hinomarus today. I want to start at least the masking for those. And that will be the last thing that I do today, at least start that. I was supposed to start it yesterday, then I got caught into this tomfoolery. Tomfoolery. Yikes. Getting close to damaging the masking on the canopy. That would have sucked. Second time. So, another round of rescribing. I just not do it right the first time. Yeah. If only my scribing skills were that good, Peter. They suck. I'll be the first to admit it. My scribing skills, nah. They're adequate at best. At best. Partly because I'm kind of a lazy scriber. Hello. This one's fighting all the way. The lazy scribe. Lazy scribe sounds like a tavern at a Ren fair. Yeah, exactly. Scribe. I think people would be completely misunderstanding, though. Hold it. Are you a writer? No, I just chisel into plastic. What? The lazy scribe. There you go. But Ken, that could be a sign that you put on yourself when you're at the intersection. That could be fun. You would have a name officially. The lazy scribe. I think I got it all. I think. I think I do. Ran out of stone. I used poly tables. Nice. I think. But you beat me to it. I was looking up the English name for a Ren fair. Great minds. And me. Nice. Okay. Next to the Tim the Ostler's giant turkey legs. Exactly. Just hand him the bellboy outfit. Yeah, later. Oh, music box and really bring in the money. It's Joe. Can be my tavern wench. I'm a eunuch, though. I'm a eunuch. Great. There we go. Ramp twice, unfortunately, which means it's probably going to need some patching. We'll see. Man. If I'm born on the 4th of July and there's somewhere, it's okay. Nobody is perfect. More Independence Day. Nope. Patch that and draw on a line. Okay. Well, at this point, we are done with the. Oops, take it back. Did I get the wing root here? I think so. Can't tell. Got a couple places I'm going to have to touch up here. Let's get the surfacer out. We're going to touch those up now. So on the right intersection, he'll just show up probably. All right. That was so much fun the first time. Let's do it again. Second, my friends. Just do this to smooth it out a little bit so there'll be less cleanup later. Add something down this way. There. Got that. Got that. Let's see where else, shall we? There we go. I'll cast eyes on this again later and see if there's anything else I've missed. But at this point, this looks... yeah. Just, at this point, I need this thing done. So, oh. Okay. Leave it be. Let's start working on the Hinomarus. Morning, Uncle G. Good morning, Lelouch. How are you? Looking forward to the 3-part tomorrow. The Rescribe 3 down the line. Again, and again. Exactly. Dude, I told you. Not my forte. Not my forte. There are things I'm good at and things I suck at, and lots of stuff in between. All right. Let's get a hit of coffee. Set this guy down over here. You stay right there. Move this stuff out of the way. And I'll start working on some Hinomarus. So, real quickly, let me see if I get the instructions here. Yeah, let's see if I can pull up. Yeah, luckily you breathe like a champ. Breathe like a champ. Nice. All right. This is the Suisse. Images. See if I can see an image of this thing without it being a fucking model. There it is. All right, real quickly. Okay, so the instructions on this thing, if I see these correctly, the Hinomarus on this, they're just red circles, right? That's all we see is just the red circles. It's also the Shusui, not the Suisse. My mistake. Shusui. All right. So on this model, this is the 148 scale version. Take a look at the rings around those Hinomarus. They're massive, right? And also look at where they're positioned. Now, if we take a look at like that one, the ring is, it's actually not coming out all that great. The ring on the vertical stabilizer is much smaller, and it's also positioned differently. Later, Nick. Have a good one, brother. In fact, in the what you guys are seeing, let me see if I can blow this up. Boy, it still looks massive, but it's much, much smaller than what you're seeing in the imaging on this thing. Like, that is massive. So my goal is to make a white ring that the red circle will go on top of. That'll be much smaller. So let's start working on those. So I've got basically I got to make 6 masks. They kept it entirely on the vertical stabilizer, not on the rudder at all. Correct. Yeah, it actually, that's exactly it. It crossed over into the rudder, which I think is incorrect. So now positioning is wrong, and now I've got to open this thing up. Positioning is wrong. Now, all of this is like, this plane is a conjecture. There were 2 versions of the prototype that I'm aware of, at least that I've read about. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go with what I just saw. I like that photo. So we're going to go with that drawing. Trust the black and white photo. Use your silhouette cutter to cut masks. Yeah, I'm not going to, because I don't have time to learn it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, Ray. The old-fashioned way. I'll tell you, these water slides are wicked small. I hope they don't fall apart. Too lazy. What I'm going to do, circle cutter. Which sucks because The silhouette will probably be the better way to go. Not going to disagree with you on that. But I don't have the time or the inclination right now, ouch, to learn to use it. Don't have the time. And I know that's just, I could do it, but until I figure out how to use it, use rocks and sticks. Could be. Where are the inlay rivets? Oh, they're there, Joe. You just have to look very carefully. You don't have a bladed compass for a mask like that? No, actually, I've got a circle cutter, which is fine. Yeah, and I've used this before, and it'll be fine. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a few of these. I think we might just go with this. Yeah. And I know there's other material out there too that one can use as a mask. And that's the stuff I do want to pick up at some point. Visit enough glory holes until you find the right size. Exactly. Basically. Okay. And I remember how much fun I had doing this before. So I'm looking forward to doing this again. Okay. We're going to start with the smaller ones. So we are at what appears to be 6.5. If I went to 7.5, a millimeter around. Let's take a look at that photo again. Do you have a drafting circle template? Not a metal one. Do I have one? I do have the one for the road wheels. I might use that. We'll see. Oops, hello. Wrong one. Let's see. Photo. I'm going to go a little bit less than that. If I went to, I think 7 would be too small. Yeah, we're going to go to, we're going to go to 7.5. I think that should be fine. Mine's plastic. You don't need metal. The last time I tried using a plastic one, I was starting to cut into the plastic. I was keeping some drafting templates and French curves in the arsenal. 7.5. And by the way, before I forget, because I will forget, 7.5, 3.75 millimeter. There we go. See what it looks like. Okay. Start this in a bit. Use a pencil, then cut on the line. Yeah, not so much. Oof. 2 call-outs today in Macon and 8 customers. I have just no text for now. Fun. Does that mean you got to stay on the phone with them, Robert, until they get squared away? There's one. Let's see how it looks. I'm going to cut out a Hinamaru. Place it right on it. Means I need to call them and tell them we have to reschedule. Ooh, yeah, those are fun. 8 of them, huh? Are these service calls or are these new installations? Oof. Oof. There we go. Now we're going to cut along the edges and see where it goes. Both. Oof. I'm pulling the new installs to fit in more service calls. Company doesn't like that, but fuck them. Existing customers take priority. Oh, yeah. Wouldn't disagree with you on that one. Okay. Just a second, guys. Okay. I got most of the material removed from around the Hinamaru. Let's see how it looks in a second here. Okay. It's close. Might just go out just a smidge more. A smidge more. Lay down the tape. Move that over there. Oops, wrong one. I do have, this is the older one, which, not going to lie, just did not enjoy using. This newer plastic one is better. I'm not going to say it is worlds better. Oh, fuck it. I just bumped it. That sucks. Yeah. That sucks. That's all right. What else is new? Try it right there. All right. I just realized how old and long it's been. Your streaming. First time watching was when you were building the gouge. Yeah, dude. Today's the anniversary. I started the live stream 6 years ago, and I think the gouge might have been one of the first things that I did that was kind of like involved. Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while. I missed that project. That was a good project. Cutting on a glass mat is much better than cutting on there we go. Bang. Than cutting on a, what they call it. A soft mat. Down to 3 jobs now that I prioritize trouble calls instead of installs. Nice. 6 seasons and a movie. And a movie? I don't know about that. I'm not sure I'd want a movie of this, personally speaking. First thing I saw George building was the Harpy, but that could be a month ago, a year ago, or even a decade ago. The first thing you saw? No, I think it was before then, Peter. You were been on before I started the Harpy. Going to switch over to the 6.0s. Get a little closer and more personal-like. In fact, Peter, I think you started on the Machine and Krieger. Hence the reason why it's named Cat P25. There we go. A little tighter. It's a little bolder than I want, but I might just go with it. Well, that's 7.5. We got it. Community. I got married and already have 2 kids since first watching George. Really? Wow. Really? Damn. I think I'd be scared about that, but I appreciate it. What would be the AmFam movie? The AmFam movie. Uh-oh. The question is being asked. We're going to make 4 masks. Only need 2, but we're going to make 4. Why? Just in case. Don't let facts ruin a good joke. Don't let facts ruin a good joke. Of course you should. Always, Peter. Always. There we go. One other benefit of cutting on a glass mat is the circle cutter actually doesn't move. Now, I'm cutting tape rather than plastic. But in the past, when doing this on a soft mat, I had major issues. The only thing I never realized, I don't know with the mat, I'm sorry, with the glass mat, is how deep I'm cutting. And I'm pretty sure I'm cutting into the glass itself, looking at where I've got a circle left down. It is what it is. There's number 2. In fact, now we can actually write on these things. Two years, one build. Has it been? I don't know. I'd have to take a look to see how many models I've actually worked on in the last 2 years. 2 years? What was that, beginning of 24? I think it's more than that. The Machine and Krieger, the Bat Plane. Well, I've definitely worked on more stuff. Maybe not gotten done more stuff. Quality over quantity. I'd like to think. Though with this model here, this is just get it done. I'm done with this model. I am done with this model. All right, I'm going to cut 2 more masks. I'm hearing people are starting to wake up, so I will be bailing. But I'm going to cut the 2 masks. I believe this blade should only be spinning in one direction. And for the life of me, I don't recall which direction that is, because it would be really smart if they actually put on here something that says what direction you should be cutting in. I think I'm spinning it backwards from the way I did it the last time. So it lays down a piece of tape. There we go. We got quality over quantity and 2 years, one build. Well, it depends on how the movie is shot. If it's outside, look at the MTV Addictions. But if you're on the inside filming and interviewing people, it may be a 60-minute special. Oh, man. A 60-minute special. I do have to wonder, would anybody be interested in something like that? I'm not sure I would. But well, the cuts seem to be cleaner when I spun it that way, so we're going to do it that way again. Okay. Oh, ow, fuck. That hurt. It still hurts. Oh, damn wrist. This left hand is just not doing as well as it once did, shall we say. And there we go. We now have our 4 vertical stabilizer masks. I only need 2, but I've got 2 more just in case, so I don't have to remake these things in case. If you are counting started or completed builds, yeah. Oh, if it's started, it would be significantly higher, like probably a magnitude or so more. In fact, like I said, it's one of the models I did want to get back to this year was the Task, and we'll see if I do. I guess it depends on what happens with the Harpy at this point. I've got the Harpy. I still, again, the stuff that's on the paint bench, all of that stuff needs to get done. All right, now let's get the measurement on the larger Hinomaru's. And this, I need to make 8 of these. $13. Yeah. 13 millimeter. So I will probably end up going to 15, and that might be a millimeter on either one. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do that. So we're going to go to 15 millimeter. Let's get that measure down, and then we're going to probably call it a day. $15 would be 7.5. That's it. Okay. All right, we're going to leave that there for now. Yep, that'll fit just fine. We'll start cutting later on. This is going to be a dive now, but it is going to be in flight mode. So I've already got a base for it. I just got to get a drill through and put a rod up here, and then the plane itself will be in flying mode. I'm not a big fan of putting planes in static on the ground modes. So this one itself, no diorama. The Machining Krieger still has a little diorama that needs to be completed with the doghouse and the dog. And then the SD Macross kit, the Elint Seeker, that one will have a little base as well. A man from Mass who inspired people all around the world to do better from his basement. Okay, sure, no story. No story. It was a man from Mass who asked people to stop being an ass. Well, I do that. I'll grant you that. All right, guys, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I do appreciate it. Wow, over 2 hours. Love it. So I'll be working on the masks today, getting those ready. And next step is to get the plane itself. Just wait for this new stuff to dry. I will prime it again just to get it a little bit more even. But do the last bit of touch up and then get this thing painted. And at which point, what we'll probably end up doing during the show is I'll probably end up just starting to do cleanup. So I'll be painting off camera. Any hand painting I'll do on camera. Any airbrushing I won't do on camera. Have a great day, guys. You too. I was expecting a morning beer for the anniversary. Yeah, just coffee. Later, dude. Have a good one. Everybody, take care, okay? Go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you possibly can. It's a really crazy, dangerous world and not getting any better. So anything we can do to make it better, will be better. So go out there and show kindness, love, and respect for everybody, all right? Guys, do good. Enjoy the day. Love you all. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.